I'm going to be sharing with you how to create pins with really AI as well as anything that you want to do. This is going to help you with batch pinning. This is going to help you with actually going through the strategy. Now, it is also part of a series. I realized that part of my series, I've spoken about at least 3 or 4 videos on this page about also SEO, what's the strategy, what we're doing, how do we do things, and stuff like that. But I did not talk about actually how to create these pins. So I'm going to share with you today in this video how to actually create these pins using AI image generation first and foremost, and then also using Canva. Okay, so that's going to come in the next couple of videos. Next week, I'm going to give you a step-by-step guide on how to create pins in 2026. And I suggest that you do this, or there is an automated approach. But I wanted to talk, this is just going to be a short video that you don't need to worry about pin creation as long as we have LLMs in place. So I'm going to give you guys a little bit of an example of what you can do to start generating 5, 6, 10 pins, and based on the blog post that you have, it will get you the best results. So this is going to be just related to AI right now, and then in the future we're going to talk about Canva and everything else and how we put those two things together. In this whole series, guys, as you might have seen, I spoke about tools that I use for Pinterest marketing itself. I want to just show you very briefly on my profile to see that this strategy that I'm using, which I have explained to you guys in this whole playlist. By the way, it will be linked in the description below. But just the strategy alone, guys, has started to generate me around 15K monthly views. So 15,000 monthly views just on this Pinterest account, which I've honestly been curating for the last 6 months, since the December 2025. And I did not even think that it was be possible to get to 15,000 monthly views just in a matter of 6 months. So I know that it makes sense. Now, there are some things that I'm learning from getting these monthly views, because there's one thing getting the impressions. There's another thing going and getting those outbound clicks that then go on to make sales, right? What I'm using Pinterest is as a faceless strategy account. By the way, guys, welcome to this channel. If you haven't yet subscribed, hit the subscribe button and the bell notification. I jumped into the content because this topic for me is super interesting and I really wanted to share with you guys how to do it. So I've tried different styles of pins. If you go through my entire pin history, you'll see that there are some AI generated pins. There are some templates that I have created myself. There are some generic ones with no text on it. There are, other ones which I've created, like here, which is also the ones that I have created. Okay, literally that come from myself, or even a mindset shifts. As you guys can see, this is a nice one that I really like, honestly. This is a style that I really like, and this is a style that you can start to create within AI itself. So one of the things that I want to talk about is that when you are choosing the kind of pins that you want, and in order for you to start to generate these kind of monthly views, one of the key things that are important, which I share with you on the playlist right here, guys, is the SEO side, the Pinterest SEO. So this last video that I posted last week has a really good strategy, which you are using Pinterest tools itself to see the monthly search volume. So that's one thing. So pick 5 to 6 keywords with the monthly search volume, and as well you can use your blog. So let's say you have a blog post created, or let's say you have a sales page that you can literally take this sales page right here, or rather this blog post right here, and start to use AI. So in this case, I'm just going to go to Gemini. I'm going to post the link and say, analyze this page, this link, and give me the keywords which have demand on Pinterest. Now, the reason why I'm doing this for you guys, Pinterest. The reason why I'm doing this for you guys is because I want you guys to see that if you have the content, you can start to, get some keywords first and foremost, and then based on those keywords you can start to generate. I'm using Gemini here, but you could use ChatGPT, you could use Claude. I would suggest there are multiple ways, like all 3 elements will give you different answers. And if you want to make the most out of these pins, I would take the same content and add it to all the different LLMs that are out there. So for example, a Perplexity, a Grok, Claude, Gemini, and so on and so forth, because that way I'm multiplying the number of ideas for the pin that I have, going from, let's say, 5 per blog article, I get now 10 per blog article. Then I can get 20 per blog article. I can get even 50 per blog article because I'm breaking them up between these few LLMs. And the reason why I'm doing this is simply because all of them look at Pinterest in from a different perspective, from a different point of view. When you have the keywords and the blog post, then it's going to generate you better results if you want AI pins. Now, I will say something. AI pins are possible on Pinterest, okay? They do look at it, but at the same time, it is possible on Pinterest. You can apply them. It's not like completely out there that it's not going to give you traction. It might not get you clicks initially, but it's going to get you definitely the visibility that you need. Now, I will also say one more thing, guys, regarding this AI pins that we're generating. It's not going to be the best quality, okay? It's going to be up to a certain quality that you like, but if you have your template, so the strategy that I'm going to talk to you guys about next week, in my opinion, has more value because it's more curated to the quality and style. And then if you build a system behind it, it becomes easier. But the strategy which we're going to talk about next week, I definitely suggest if you guys want to start doing it. Or lastly, as I mentioned, if you want to save a lot of time, you can always use TrafficWave Generator, which I use consistently to build my pins for me, and that saves me a lot of time. Okay, I literally have the whole month of July and the whole month of August already planned out because of TrafficWave Generator. It costs me pennies compared to what I would actually go ahead and create myself, considering everything else. So it's definitely a methodology. Now, it's not the only way. There are other tools out there, okay? But it is one of the ways. So I'll leave a link also to TrafficWave Generator in the description of this video in case you're interested. So let's go back to Pinterest. And I want to show you guys, based on it, it's grouped it into different categories. This is quite cool because each of these categories you can start to create pins, okay? So let's say you get these Pinterest for bloggers, Pinterest for marketing for beginners, blog. These are all this is all good SEO that you can use. Affiliate marketing, online business or blogging basics. This is based on the article, right? So you can see the key takeaway for these keywords. The article emphasizes the broad keywords like marketing, which are too vague and competitive, right? So you're gonna pin them down a little bit more. You're gonna get long-term keywords and then go more specific. So Pinterest traffic and everything else. And now you can generate profile name, bio, board names, broad descriptions of the pins, everything using these LLMs. So I would recommend 100% to get these insights from there, or use your keyword research, then input that here in your LLM and then ask it to generate. But from these, I would say, for example, can you generate 5 pin ideas from each of the categories? I'm showing you guys this because the way you can do this is pretty strategic. Okay, we're looping in together SEO as well as the AI itself. Why do I say SEO? Because this is going to give you ideas not only for the pins itself, but also for boards. And within Pinterest, when you have these boards that are available, these boards start to generate traffic as a whole. These keywords, lead generation marketing generates me traffic, digital marketing strategy generates me traffic. So the way I've structured this board is digital marketing strategy is a keyword that generates at least, I think, so around 100K per month views based on the research that I did. So obviously, digital marketing strategy is there, digital marketing strategy is here, and digital marketing tips as well. And there it has a description that is keyword generated. And then obviously I can always filter this and put more of other people's products or services here on my own to be able to get more visibility on this board itself. So it's all keyword based, but it's giving you ideas for a board as well as for a pin itself, right? So that's the beauty of it. And then as you go along adding more and more pins, you get better at this strategy. But it's something that I recommend everybody to go through because it'll give you an insight on the pins, on the pin types. So you can see that most of the pins over here have a visual hook, which is a text overlay, and then a search optimized title to generate the impressions. Okay, and that's what's going to tell you pin idea 1, pin idea 2, pin idea 3, and pin idea 4 and pin idea 5. So it's giving me already, just with this strategy, it's giving me 20 pins, which is almost a month's worth of pins for me personally, because I do 5 pins a day. Sorry, a week's worth of pins. I do 5 pins a day, so it means at least 30 pins at every 35 pins a week. So this is already giving me 20, okay, based on the categories that I have. So we have 4 categories, 5 pins each. Great. We can take these keywords now and then start to generate per keyword a few more pins. So this is giving per category. I would now take a few keywords and break it down even more specifically to get more. This is using just one LLM. But if you take the same exact content that you have right here and go to another like Claude, another like Grok, now you have unlimited content that you can generate. And guess what? If I say, can you give me a prompt? Basically, you ask Gemini itself, can you give me a prompt for pin idea number 1 of the first category. All right, guys. So as I mentioned, it's given me now AI prompt now, which you can use in either this. It tells you also what it can be used in, either Midjourney, the ChatGPT, or even I didn't mention which image generator I wanted. So let's just think about it from ChatGPT's perspective. Okay, I'm going to take this prompt. I'm not going to change anything of it. I'm going to open ChatGPT. I'm going to go to images right here, and I'm just literally going to generate. I'm not doing anything. I'm just going to say the same prompt, and I want to see how this generates. Okay, so what we're doing right here is I'm just showing you. You can use either ChatGPT and then go, once ChatGPT is done with everything, you can move to Canva and get ideas from Canva. You can get from Grok, and you can get from other image generators as well. Okay, so it's an unlimited strategy this way. Is it the best way to create pins? I would say no, it's not the best way to create pins, but it is a way to create pins that you can start and not let yourself stop that momentum. Okay, if you've got your keywords in place and you just want to build momentum and you're still doing research and you're still trying to understand what kind of aesthetics you want to have in your pins, which we will cover next week, then this is definitely one way to go about doing it, because you can easily generate an image this way. And as you guys can see, it's generated an image for me that is also very aesthetic for Pinterest. Honestly, this is a good pin. And I can get more details about it. Plus, it links to my blog very easily, right? So we still follow the same strategy as I mentioned, but you can either use LLMs like this to generate, or how the way I use ChatGPT now, I don't use it singularly through the image generator. I actually use it through TrafficWave, because every single time I create a wave, as you guys can see right here, I choose, for example, AI image pins, and the AI image generator that I'm using to generate this is, you can see right here, is OpenAI. This is too much, the cost. I will not do any, but it's 90 pins. Let's say I want to do the same amount of doing 7 pins, right? Let's say 10 days, 5 pins each. That cost me about $2.50 to create these 5 pins through ChatGPT itself. So I'm getting it any which ways through OpenAI. So that's personally how I'm using it. This was a one-time cost, and then every single time I generate an image, I spend a little bit of money, but it's a little bit amount of money, guys. It's not too much. I just leverage what I've earned on different small products and services over here, and I just add it to OpenAI. And every single month, I use less than $10 for me to create pins for 2 months, which is it saves so much of time. Really saves so much of time. So anyway, links are below. Hopefully, you guys understood it. Basically, we're leveraging the LLMs out there to create the SEO, and then use it to also create our pins, and then we generate pins like this, which we can use for putting it up and adding it to the board and stuff like that. Next week we'll talk about another way to generate pins, because I want to make sure that you understand exactly the multitude of ways that you can create pins, and you will always be using it, and you will always be getting better at it. Okay, so get used to using these LLMs, get used to using Canva, because you're not going to use it once and forget it and have just one strategy. It keeps evolving over time. And I hope that you guys learn, apply, and then see the results in the future. Guys, thank you for watching. Thank you for being here. I apologize if I went on a certain topic. It doesn't matter. I wanted to get this information out there to you guys. All the resources and links are in the description of this video and in the pinned comments. I'm going to see you guys on Friday for another strategy video, and keep paving the way for your dreams to come true.